You ever sit at breakfast, sipping your coffee, and suddenly hear someone aggressively slapping bricks together outside your dining room wall? Yeah, that was the day we realized our neighbor Karen, well, her name's Margaret, but you get it, was building a concrete wall, a 7-foot-tall, no clearance, straight-up fortress, basically pressed against the side of our house. The kicker? She didn't even have a permit. And worse for her, that entire strip of land? Technically ours. Let me rewind. We live in a quiet neighborhood just outside of Maplewood, Oregon. My dad, Greg, built our house, literally. He's a structural engineer. Built half this street back in the early 2000s. The kind of guy who measures twice, then a third time. Just because. My mom's mellow. I'm just trying to survive my 20s, and our family motto is basically, keep to ourselves, but don't back down. Margaret moved in next door about 7 years ago. She's intense. The type who mows her lawn diagonally for maximum visual control. Then glares at you if a single leaf crosses the invisible property line. We tolerated her. Barely. But things started going downhill about a year ago, when she claimed our trash bins were spilling onto her lawn. For context, that lawn is technically city easement past the sidewalk, but sure, Karen, to keep the peace, Dad built a low 2-foot concrete boundary. Just a polite, this is our line kind of thing. That little wall kept things civil for a while. Fast forward to this year. One crisp Tuesday morning, we're having breakfast when we hear this thwack, thwack, thwack sound. Like someone's trying to build a house out of bricks using only rage and 0 permits. We peek out, and there she is. Margaret, sleeves rolled up, directing 2 guys with concrete blocks, building a massive wall, like industrial grade, 7 feet tall, 60 feet long, hugging our house so close I could probably touch it from the window. No warning, no letter, just bam. Berlin Wall 2.0. Dad blinked once, put down his toast, said, nope, got up and walked outside like he was going to inspect a blueprint. No drama, just calm engineer energy. He walks over, knocks. Her son answers, kid's maybe 20, looks confused. Dad asks real friendly, hey there, just checking, do you folks have a permit for that wall? Kid says, I'll go ask Mom. Margaret storms out like she's been personally insulted by the existence of rules. We don't need a permit, she barks. Dad, completely unbothered, just goes, well, actually, city and HOA codes say anything over 6 feet requires one. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Then he walks away, hands in pockets, like he just gave her a weather update. Now, if it were me, I'd be embarrassed. I'd stop, check the rules, maybe even say thanks. Margaret? She doubles down. The wall goes higher, louder. She hires more guys. And for a solid month, our house sounds like we live inside a cement mixer. Dad doesn't react, not really. But I see him researching, calling his friend Martin, who's a lawyer, checking bylaws. And then, this is the best part, he starts recording. Not because he's petty, okay, maybe a little, but because Martin told him verbal threats can be used if things go sideways. 2 weeks later, he goes back. Knocks again. Same routine. Her son opens. again looking like he wishes he were anywhere else. This time, Margaret comes flying out, still in her cement dust-covered Crocs, and yells, "Get off my property! I'll sue you for harassment!" Dad just blinks, smiles. "No problem," he says, and leaves. I ask him, "What now?" He says, "We wait." And oh boy, the wait was worth it. A couple more weeks go by, and Dad rolls up with a HOA compliance engineer. Dude in a collared shirt, clipboard, official name badge. Like a building inspector dressed for vengeance. This time, we're inside the kitchen, eavesdropping shamelessly. Mom has her coffee mid-sip. I'm grinning like a little kid. We hear Dad knock, polite as ever. Margaret answers, "Not you again." Dad just says, "Just confirming. No permit, correct?" She snaps, "We don't need one." Then comes the engineer. "Ma'am, mind if I take a measurement?" Silence. We peek from the blinds as he pulls out this telescoping ruler, does a quick scan, and shakes his head. He doesn't say much, just one sentence. "Structure exceeds height restrictions. Immediate removal required." You could feel the scream vibrating through her molars. "I'm calling my lawyer," she shrieks. "Please do," the engineer replies. 3 days later, the sweetest sound in the world starts echoing through our neighborhood. Clank, crack, smash. They're tearing it down block by block. The same guys she hired to build it, now reversing the damage. I almost brought popcorn. We didn't even have to use the recordings. Didn't need lawyers, court dates, nothing. Just good old rules and timing. Margaret never spoke to us again. Not a word. No apology. No explanation. Just avoided eye contact like we were the ghost of common sense. And that boundary line? Still there. Still 2 feet tall. Still exactly where Dad put it, on our side. Of our land. You know what's funny? She spent thousands, lost more, all to defend a strip of grass that legally never belonged to her. So who was really in the wrong here?